Welcome to my channel.
Meet Generation Mute. Remember when teachers scolded us for talking too much in class? When talkative was a part of our report card sent to our parents at the end of the year? Well, if talking was an object, it would be a relic right now. Tales of talking would probably make for good fairy tales. Because if recent studies are to be believed, this generation is falling silent. Youngsters simply don't like talking anymore. Texting or using social media is fine. Even an earphones will do, as long as speaking to someone can be avoided. Here's what a survey from British communications regulator, Ofcom, revealed. About 15% of 16-24-year-olds don't want to use their phone to speak to people. They would rather use instant messengers. The same research also said that teenagers would even message people sitting in the same room, at times, next to each other, but not talk to them. Why we have talking anxiety? A part of this problem could be because we do not have any shared experience of sound in our digital world. Says Zunaina Matthew, engineer, we have moved into a noiseless and soundless world, where we hear only our voices and the sound through our earphones buzzing. There is a private world of sounds in public spaces. For e.g., we can sit anywhere, even amid people, but just listen to our favorite playlist. Earlier, we were familiar and accustomed to sounds around us, people talking, the radio playing, children screaming, dogs barking, clang of kitchen utensils etc. Now, the only sound we hear is the one we choose to, through our earphones. We go to silent discos, listen to music on earphones, have conversations on earphones, listen to movies with our headphones on. We have internalized our relationship with sound and made it a very private affair. Etiquette expert Priya Warwick says for this generation the most natural and casual communication mode is texting, and phone calls are viewed as an ordeal. Social media has changed how we communicate privately. There was a time when everyone talked for hours on the landline, and that was considered as a relaxation technique at the end of the day, between friends, lovers, parents, children, but now we think twice about violating someone's space by calling them on phone, she says. There was also a time when birthdays were special occasions when you expected people to call you. But even that's a textual affair these days. Marikana, 36, doctor, didn't get any calls on her birthday but was flooded with text messages. I miss the sound of people's voices and the laughter along with the wishes, she rues. MIT psychologist Sherry Turkle, one of the leading researchers looking into the effects of texting on interpersonal relationships, feels the onslaught of information and time spent with screens is another reason why people are talking less. Emotional fallout. Psychologist Ratna Singh tries to throw some light on this phenomenal change in human behavior in this century that, she says, will have far-reaching consequences on our emotional stratum. We are conditioned to go for what's easy because the innumerable choices and distractions in our lives, social media interactions throughout the day, work correspondence, traffic noise et al., have made our minds exhausted and we are seeking silence with a vengeance now, she says. On public transport, we have our earphones on, lest someone should look our way, smile, or worse, talk to us. While out socializing, we are more bothered about interacting with people on the virtual world from our smartphones than the ones right in front of us. Digital expert Chindish Band finds this quite funny and gives an interesting pointer. He says, being used to smartphones and social media for a while now, we also love editing our thoughts and expressions. Courtesy readily available dictionaries, emojis, we have become accustomed to reduce our mistakes, edit every thought and expression, which isn't possible while talking on the phone. This freaks people out. It's also a scientific fact that anxious people become tongue-tied. Now, think about an anxiety-ridden generation, multitasking 24/7. No wonder even the thought of picking up a phone to talk has become a terror. Sound stats. And about 15% of 16-24-year-olds don't want to use their phones to speak to people. They'd rather text. And in Time magazine's mobility poll, 32% of all respondents said they'd rather communicate by text than phone, even with people they know quite well. This is truer still in the workplace, where communication is between colleagues who are often not friends. Social media interactions throughout the day, work correspondence, traffic noise et al. Have made our minds so exhausted that we are seeking silence with a vengeance now. Ratna Khanna Singh, psychologist. Courtesy dictionaries, emojis, we have become accustomed to edit every thought and expression, which isn't possible while talking on the phone. Chindi Shpand, digital expert. A Nielsen survey says average monthly voice minutes, 18 to 34 years. Have plunged from about 1,200 to 900 in the past 2 years, and texting has more than doubled, from an average of 600 messages a month 2 years ago to more than 1,400 texts a month now. Actor Divya Dutta says though she texts more than call people these days, there are a few exceptions. I still call my circle of friends on their birthdays and get their calls too. The context of talking, hearing their voice makes me feel good. It's almost like their emotions are tangible when we speak.